G'day everyone, I've had my XW Fairmont 351 Cleveland for over 10 years now actually, and like most people with a hobby car, I've spent a bit of money on it, and in today's video I'm going to tell you the top 10 things that I've spent money on which have improved my ownership experience of my hobby car, and I'm also going to talk to you about the top 10 things that I have wasted money on. And if you have got a hobby car, hopefully this can give you an idea of where you can get your best bang for buck and where not to waste your money and time. If you find this useful, give us a thumbs up or even give us a super thanks, whatever the hell that is. Now of course all lists like this are subjective, and to get on my good list the criteria has basically been, have I spent money on the car and it's enhanced my experience, my ownership experience, or done something good on the car. And if it's on my naughty list, it's basically something that hasn't lived up to expectations or just been a bit shit. To kick things off on my top list, the number 10 thing would be my stereo and speakers. Let's try that again. There we go. When I first bought the car, it had these manky 6x9s in the rear parcel shelf, and the first thing I did when I bought the car was put these nice new Pioneer jobs in, which enhanced the driving experience immensely because I could cruise with tunes. And not long after that, I popped these ones in the front kick panels. These are, I think, 6.5-inch speakers, and now I've got full quadraphonic sound, and I pair that with this Pioneer Bluetooth radio head unit, whatever you want to call it, which was a pain in the ass to put in if you remember my dashboard videos. What am I catching on? This isn't going as well as I thought it would. Alright, let me explain to you what I've done. I've done this the wrong f***ing way around! Oh, you gotta be kidding me! Number 9 on my list is this lovely cream Venetian blind, which looks excellent paired with my lime frost Duco, and this has two practical features. One is that it keeps the sun off the top of my son's head, and it also hides the fact that I've got ugly 6x9s on the rear parcel stuff, so you can't see them, so it looks exceptional from behind. Thumbs up. Number 7 is that I splashed out and put Coney red adjustable shocks on this not long after I got it, and my gosh, did they make a difference. Now these are rebound adjustable, which means you can adjust the rebound on them, I suppose, compared to the 20 or 30 year old GT gas things that were on there beforehand, like chalk and cheese. And it was about $1,000 back in 2014 or 2015. Money well spent. Do your shocks, just do them. Number 6 was I actually converted the old sealed beams to these pretty sweet H4 headlights, and these are a Nava H4 headlight, and I did these probably about 7 or 8 years ago actually, or maybe even more. And look, compared to the sealed beam jobs that we had beforehand, these are magnificent. I've got super bright bulbs in there, and there's no parker. The parkers are in here on these cars. The thing is, now technology has moved on quite a bit since I've put these, and you can get really cool LED lights that look like factory style headlights for a classic car. So even though these are awesome, I am eyeing off a set of those banging headlights out of WA. They look mint. But lighting, if you're going to cruise your car at night, spend the money, get some decent lights. Number 5 is my rear sway bar. Now this is a Fairmont, not a GT like in the corner over there. So these didn't come with the big leafs or a sway bar fitted, as it just starts to rain. I had a sway bar fitted, and my gosh, I can't believe the difference it made in handling, especially over undulating and sort of uneven surfaces. It is night and day. For a bit of metal bolted to your diff to have such an impact to how this car feels on the road, like, oh, I still can't get over it. If you don't have a sway bar, get a sway bar. Well worth the money. Number 5 are my wheels. These are 17x7s and 17x8s on the rear. They are show wheel streeters. I bought these secondhand and they were rooted when I got them, so I had them basically restored and painted in this custom wheel colour rather than the standard show wheels colour. And I think they suit the car really nice. They tuck in beautifully. They just look, I don't know, tough to me, and they make the car feel anyway visually more like a muscle car compared to, say, a classic car. And I like the fact that these are a million times lighter than my old 12 slotters, and these Bridgestone RE003s I think that I've got on them, they're brilliant. Like, they transform the handling of the car as well. I mean, these things allow me to actually stop when I need to stop, and they put the power down pretty good. The best part about wheels are, if you don't like the look or want to change it up, you can just chuck the other set back on. It's a real simple way of changing the, I suppose, attitude, handling, and characteristics of your car. 4 is my GS dash and steering wheel. Sitting behind this dash and this steering wheel just makes the car feel so much more elevated compared to what it used to look like. The standard Fairmont dash and the standard Fairmont steering wheel had seen better days, and when I put this new dash in, it felt like I was getting into a new car. Although some of it's still not functional. I mean, the tacho's crap and the oil and temp gauges are a little bit sporadic. It still feels like a nice complete place to sit, regardless of the functionality of what's in front of me. The third best thing I spent money on was insulating the floor of this car. I put new carpet in this in late 2014, I think, and whilst I did it, I ripped everything out. I ripped all the old insulation out. I rust converted the floor, painted it just to keep it intact, and I chucked this stuff on called Hush Mat. Now, Hush Mat was kind of like Dynamat, and holy shit, what a difference that made. Along the transmission tunnel where the exhaust runs, you would just get heat radiating up at all times, which is fine in winter because it was like made you nice and cozy, but in summer it was shit house because you just have hot from the outside of the car and then hot from the inside of the car, which you just couldn't get rid of. After I put that in, you can actually drive this on reasonably warm days and not bake from within. Money well spent. Just do it if you're thinking about it. The second best thing I've spent money on this car has been changing the rear end ratio from a lame highway gear of 275 to 1 and putting in a much more cool and streetable 3.5 to 1 ratio. When I first got this car, it cruised mid. Highway speeds were fantastic. You were sitting at, say, 2200 RPM on, say, Eastlink or the Eastern Freeway, so it cruised grouse, but around town, it sucked. It laboured. It felt lame. It had no performance. And when I jacked the car up and found out it had those highway gears, a few of the boys said, 3.5s will sort you out, mate. Don't you worry about that. And they were right. Like, holy shit. It was the single biggest performance gain I have done on this car. I mean, carby manifold aside, I mean, it runs good with those things, but this thing just made it take off. It is so much more streetable. It is such a pleasure to drive around town now. And look, you are sacrificing a little bit of highway cruisability. It does rev around about $3,000 if I sit around 100 k's an hour, but I'll put up with that for the fact that for the 99% of the other times that I'm driving a car, it's mint. And number one, the best thing I've spent money on this car has been putting in a baby seat so my little buddy can come for cruises. Having this seat in the car has transformed it from being a toy for me to now something we can use as a family. I can now share my hobby and my passion with my son, and he loves it. Like, he loves this thing. His favourite colour is green. He loves the sound the green car makes. He likes it better than his Pops GT. So he's telling me all the things that I want to hear, which, you know, good on him. And we've been able to create some special memories in this car too. And it also means for me, like, if I want an excuse just to drive the car and give the wife some peace and quiet, I go, come on, buddy, let's go for a cruise in a green car. And he is rocketing out here. I think before putting the kids' seat in, I only drove it a handful of times. Now with that seat in, I reckon I've driven it 40 to 50 times in the last 12 months, which is the most that's been driven since probably 2019, 2018. So now that we've done my top 10 good list, let's have a look at the top 10 shit things that I've spent money on this car. Number 10 is that I bought all this stuff to make my shifter complete, like the little slidey bit in here, the brushes and the light, and none of it bloody fit because this is some cheapo plastico replica console, and like, it works fine, but it doesn't work with all the stuff that I bought it. So that really annoyed me. Now, I could buy a new console, but I painted this one. It's got my blood, sweat and tears in it, and it functions fine. It just looks a bit wonky, and I'm not going to replace the whole unit just to get those brushes and the slidey bit to work. So stick that. For number 9, we have to go under the house. Can you see them? They are wheel arch moulds. So before I even had the car landed with me here from Queensland, I bought those wheel arch moulds from South Australia. They were a couple $100, maybe a bit more, and I thought they would look good. Being a Fairmont, I was trying to Fairmont it up. Now, I sort of dummied them up on the car, and I thought, they look a bit shit. They have been under the house since January 2014, about 3 weeks before the car was landed here in Victoria. So, like, waste of money, and they haven't even seen the light of day, and I can't even be bothered going under to get it because it's full of redbacks. Number 8 is this gold GS stripe. Now, when I bought the car, it had a gold GS stripe and it looked okay. I wasn't massive fan of it, but I didn't oppose it. I had a whoopsie over here, I'll show you, on my guard, and when I had that whoopsie, it mangled the stripe here. I'll see if I've got some photos to show you the level of whoopsie that occurred. I was pretty ashamed of that whoopsie, and straight away I went out and bought this here replacement gold GS stripe, and it sat in the packet up until about 10 minutes ago, because people have told me that after about that amount of time, the glue's probably gone off and it's not going to be adhesive anymore. I bought this and it's sat there and nothing's been done with it. It's a waste of money. 7th on my list is I painted my dash. And look, I know I told you before how much I love sitting behind this GS dash, but I had to paint the whole dash, and for those weeks of my life and the pain and suffering I went through in painting that dash, you only see 1, 2, 3 bits, basically. Like, that's it. It broke me. I hate painting. Don't paint. Get someone else to paint. Number 6 is my thermofan. Now, I had this thermofan installed by someone. I didn't do it myself. This was before I was mechanically inclined. And look, it does the job. It doesn't cook, and it does allow the engine to rev a lot freer than when it had the old big mechanical fan on there. But it cost me like $500. And I mean, the car is no cooler or no hotter than what it was when it had the mechanical fan. So was it worth the money? Jury's out, especially after driving the old man's GT with the mechanical fan, and that thing just stays on temp. And a lot of people I've seen with old cars have mechanical fans with big radios, and they just work. I think at the time I was chasing an overheating problem that probably didn't exist. My temp gauge was all over the shop, and rather than get a new temp gauge, I just went and put a new thermofan on. I don't think it was a waste of money, but I probably didn't need it, and that's the bit that annoys me. Number 5 is the SSSSSSSL front springs that I've got on this thing. I mean, it looks sick, but it is so low. I mean, have a look at this side. I mean, it looks sick, doesn't it? Especially with how low my rear is, but it rides like arse. It really does. And there's bugger all suspension travel. I mean, the suspension travel is basically this much on the front, because that's how much I had to file back the bump stops so that there was suspension travel. I drove around for about 2 years on the bump stops, and it drove like shit. But it looked good. If I had my time again, I still would have gone lowered springs, but just the step up. And I actually do have a set in the shed somewhere, which I will put on the car one day when I've got time. Controversially, number 4 is my straight through exhaust. Front to back, this has got pacemaker, 1 3/4 inch primary, 4:1 headers, going into a 3-inch collector, into a 2.5-inch straight through system. There's a balance pipe down there, which it gives it that nice muscle car rumble. And there are 2 mufflers, but they're straight through mufflers, and I think they're 16-inch. 16-inch? Is that a size for mufflers? I don't know. And then you've got these GT style 2.5-inch tips below here, which look superb. At idle, it sounds pretty good. And cruising around town, it sounds all right. And it's actually not that loud inside the car. Like putting around, it's pretty quiet, surprisingly. And I wonder if that's got something to do with all the insulation I've got. Maybe, maybe not. When you put your foot down, however, like, it's obnoxious. I'm not going to lie, it's bloody loud. Okay. She didn't like it. But it is really, really raspy, and that, I don't know, I don't like the raspiness of it. I'd like to do something to take the raspiness from this system to make it sound more like this instead of like this. Can you hear that? Do you know what that means? I also did zero research as well, and that annoyed me too. Like, I could have gone out and listened to people with good exhaust systems, and asked the questions. What have you got? How big is it? What mufflers are you using? I just went, nah, that'll do. When I bought the exhaust as well, the guys at the shop said, don't get 4-in-1s, mate. Get tri-wise. 4-in-1s scrape on everything in an XWXY sedan, regardless of how low your car is. Now, my car was already low. They told me it was going to scrape. I said, don't worry about it. It's a muscle car. It's a weekender. Who gives a shit? Well, now I give a shit. I don't want it to scrape anymore. Number 3 on my list is all the things to do with my windscreen wipers. Early days on the channel, I was obsessed with getting my wipers to work, and I first spent time polishing and cleaning the shit out of the windscreen to make sure there was no gunk on there. When that didn't work, I replaced the wiper linkage under here, which improved it somewhat, but not, I didn't fix it completely. Then I shelled out on these new GT style wipers, which are okay. I mean, they're not great. They're better than what was there, but again, they're 55-year-old technology and 55-year-old aerodynamics and shit here. So, I mean, they're pretty crappy to start with. I don't know what I was expecting. And when I put those wipers on, I bloody slipped and I scratched the shit out of my scuttle panel here. And it still bloody annoys me. And you know what? How often do you think I get to drive this car in the rain? All. Like I said, I drive it maybe 40 to 50 times a year in the good year, and most of that's over summer. Because you want to cruise when it's nice weather. You don't want to cruise in the middle of winter. You take the bloody runabout cars. For the amount of effort and cost I've put into making the wipers better, I haven't really extracted the value out of them by driving in torrential rain. So it kind of annoys me now down the track that I could have put that money into something else and just put up with the shitty wipers that were on there. Number 2 on my list, we're going back under the bonnet and we're pointing squarely at this Chinesium Summit Racing distributor. This was about $300 or $400 at the time from Summit Racing. It's just shit jizzy. I mean, if you haven't seen it yet, it broke on me a couple of years ago and left me stranded at a mate's place in Warrandyte, and we fixed it. Go see the video up here somewhere. The spark's weak. The timing curve on it's not great. Now look, it does the job. Like, it drives okay, but from a performance point of view and from a reliability point of view and a tunability point of view, there is a lot to be desired with that Summit Racing Dizzy. For number 1, we have to get back inside the car. And it's this thing. It's this stupid reproduction GT tacho. It's rubbish. It's so slow to respond to any RPM movement. It can't be earthed anywhere apart from my bloody radiator hose clamps. Otherwise, it just goes apeshit. And look how slow it is. Ready? Okay, let me just neutral start switch. So it's got to do this sweep for whatever reason. And it'll come up to wherever it wants. Oh, okay, it's got to do another sweep. Yep, cool, no worries. Yep, it's back to where you want to go. All right, give us a rev. It's just hell. I mean, how shit's that? I mean, there's so many cheap tachos out there. Just I get stuck in the car. There's so many cheap ones out there that just work perfectly. This thing, for the cost of it, it's crap. It is absolute crap, and it annoys me. And it annoys me because it's in my face every time I get in the car, and it annoys me because it takes me back to putting the dash in and how annoying it was to get the thing to actually work and get it earthed properly, because it can't earth anywhere, and it's just... Anyway, it annoys me. At some point, I'm going to gut that thing or send it away, get it gutted, and get an autometer tacho guts put in, and then that fascia put on top, and then it might be able to behave properly so I can use it. So yeah, that's my worst waste of money on this car, and then my most annoying. Yeah, and it still annoys me, and it annoys me, and it annoys me a lot. So what did you think? Do you like that list? Do you agree? Do you disagree? Have you spent money on your car which you thought was excellent value for money or horrible value for money? Let me know in the comments. I'd love to hear from you. If you did enjoy this video, give us a thumbs up. It really does help the video get to more people. And if you were entertained by it or got any value out of it, do one of those super thanks things. I don't know how they work, but apparently people ask for super thanks. I should get on that bandwagon. Anyway, I'll see you in the next Meatball Garage video, which I'm going to film over there in about 10 minutes.